Alright guys, part 2. I want to talk about it. I'll get to the main point in this video. This series comes to the point. The point is okay, I want to, before I forgot to mention about that mechanic in the video link. He mentions that, and he makes a few over-exaggerated claims, just a little bit over-exaggerated, just a teensy fucking bit, unless you include a catalytic converter and computer control in the equation, then it's possible. But include aerodynamic modifications to the vehicle design. Here's what I've found. He talks about, in that video he mentions fucking documents from Chevron. And a code that sends his letter back to letter 2. And apparently, according to the story, and this is the thing. I know it sounds fake, wouldn't hold up in the courtroom. But here's the bit. He's not famous for inventing that device. It was a charge impact ultrasonic vaporizer, I think it was called. If I'm remembering the name correctly. What happened? He sent the letter off to Chevron. They came back and they said, do this, write to whatever cash money you needs or whatever using this code, and it was on the paper. It was a copy of the original thing. It shows it live on video. And that's why this video link's to show you it's spaced out on Charlie Chapman's channel. Here's the fucked up bit. Really screwed up. What happened? This is during the 70s. Well, he did all what they said to do. And then somehow somebody turned around and called his lawyer, supposedly called his lawyer, and told him, the fuck? What the hell? Dude, they said if you can't, whoever this corporations or government, whatever the fuck, it said if you don't quit doing this shit, you won't be around anymore to make no more. That's a death threat. That's saying if you keep making this shit, we're gonna fucking get rid of you. Accidents can happen. It's the same goddamn language. It ceases, and this dude was such a troll. I was troll warring with about the whole thing, fighting using actual evidence, and he said, I'm not looking at that evidence. I was like, I'm not looking at that links. I said, then I win the debate. No, you don't. Why? Because physics. He said, there's no free energy in the whole fucking concept. It's recycling waste energy, making greater using more of the potential or chemical energy possibly as much as possible out of the fuel to make a cleaner burn, and coupled with computer control combined with the right aerodynamic tech and all this other shit to try to increase mileage compared to conventional fuel burning. If you actually look at these links in this part 2 and in part 1, it's all the same. You actually read the articles. You actually read the actual previews of the actual documents when they tested. And some of these documents are in Brazil. Because the Brazilians are a biofuel-dominated country, the biggest biofuel country on the fucking planet. Now, here's the fucking ass nut. Here's the testy kicker. Here's the testicular cancer inducer. If it were true, this guy tried to say, oh, because of physics. I said, dude, you're half-ass vaporizing the shit upon compression. I know this because I've helped my dad rebuild engines for 7 fucking years. Or close to it, from 2004 to 2011, a couple months before he died, because he couldn't get the fuck around anymore. Because he was dying. Slowly dying. The shit that... No! Stay down. The shit that happened to him over the fucking years, the surgeries, the boulder landing on him, fucking up from the chest down, fucking up his spine, getting blackballed, the suffering he went through is immense. Even he knew this shit was true, and he worked on fucking engines. He knew guys that were he knew oil connections. I have a cap. A black cap around here is called Don Heil Oil. It is a branch of the Amical company. I have that cap and I can still talk this shit. I went on a truck ride with him when I was a kid. I was in the oil tanker with Mr. Don Heil himself. A friendly son of a bitch. He was friendly. He was alright. Awesome. Quit bellowing. Alright? Well, What's the painful truth? Looks like it might not have been suppressed like people claiming back in Charles Nelson Pogue's time. Because they might have been letting him use it. And some people claim it was a victim. It helped in the World War II. Gaining victory in World War II. That's a claim. I don't know if there's any evidence to it, but it's stories. And it's still a mechanic's legend today. And I understand how the fucker works. And I even went on forums and read about how people were trying to have figured it out. Same thing as I explained. It's an exhaust heat exchange with a little kind of a vacuum pump kind of deal. Pressurize it a little. Pump it to the intake port, to the air intake, at a certain amount of higher raised PSI to mix with air and all that to burn off and reduce smoke and everything else. I didn't say completely remove, but reduce. That was the concept. See? According to all this data, America's not fucking with it. Countries like Brazil are experimenting with it, using alcohol, fucking Everclear, lead ethanol in it. And you know what? This shit can actually fucking work, it sounds like to me. I don't know about 200 or 300 miles to the gallon. Oh shit, got an itty bitty titty car with aerodynamics up the fucking, up your twat. Or use the body of the fucking EV1. The electric vehicle knows the EV1. And I'll give you I'll give you the name. I'll give you the link to what it looks like. The electric vehicle that can get 160 miles on a charge. Imagine if that kind of tech was using a fucking hybrid. That would be retarded. People would be it would not be fast producing. For one thing. Well, you can make other economic uses out of repairs and shit instead of rigging it, whatever, maintenance, and a few taxes. That would be revenue source. There's ways of working around that kind of shit. There's ways of working around it. There's ways, but most people are not that open. You might work in a socio-capitalist environment, though. And the social aspect was regulated by a different organization that goes over government heads if they go out of line, and corporate heads. And they're trained morally and legally, especially morally, and trained in efficiency and the ideals of the greatest people in the world. Then that might work. I'll talk about that in a future video, but what am I getting at here? Sounds like, minus the extravagant claims, seems like pre-vaporizing fuel might run a little longer. I've seen all of Tyson Capel's live recordings of doing the same shit and actually getting results and showing people. He actually increased MPGs on his fucking Jeep and all kind of other shit. And he did it well. Sounds like it could fucking work to me. The Brazilian documents are showing the same shit, although they only can use it at a certain fuel, the air-fuel ratios. They got to keep it where it'll stay at that same air-fuel ratio in throttling, and when they increase the throttle, increase the engine speed. When they throttle it, it's got to stay there at that same ratio, and increase air engine speed. And the reason's simple. You go too high or too low, pollution goes way fucking up. But if it maintained it at that most ideal air fuel ratio, then you might actually and cool down the air intake as much as fucking possible, mixing it with the superheated at the pre-vaporized ethanol. It might show some actual good. America, we need to do this kind of shit now. There is some evidence to it. It looks like at first it might have been half-ass embraced, and over time, as times changed, people too and trying to do better than they were previous and trying to do shit too well, it looks like they got shut up. This old man, this mechanic here, minus the faults, the errors, and as he says in the video. Because that lead addition does not disintegrate, and it doesn't, and it doesn't disintegrate. This has been known. If it did, it would just be little lead bits coming out the fucking vehicle, or it would hurt the it damaged the fucking engine. Think about it. Lead is part of the molecule. But either way, this engine might use the shit out of Bourgeois process-based synthetic gasoline and work pretty fucking good. I wanted to do that. But then again, you might have restrictions. It can only be restricted to military or power generating use because of how well it could work if they've tried, if it's experimented on. Possibly. But these documents are showing there's possibly some evidence towards it. But it also looks like it's a jumbled mess between one point being somewhat open-armed, somewhat open. As time goes by, it looks like it might be some sort of suppression element mixed with. It's due to the Washington Post article. Maybe these fuckers didn't want to take a chance at using something that could be dangerous because of the fucking explosion hazard of heated vapors. That is a huge explosion hazard. Imagine who would you sue if a lot of people got killed? The companies that allowed it, the production, the inventors, or the government, or the different branches of government separately, or everyone else, all of the above. It would be a fucking mess. I believe that angle more so. I believe it's a fucking mess with that angle being particularly high. That viewpoint of what if this happened, and look how fucked we would be. Look how fucked we would be. I believe that angle's the highest probability factor, honestly. It's without a doubt, for me. But there's all the other elements, like possible suppression elements, and openness from the beginning, and later on. So, it's basically what it is a mindfuckery mess. And this is my first tackling of conspiracy theory bullshit. It's my first attempt at tackling something that's literally listed as free energy conspiracy bullshit. It's not really free energy because there's no external energy out of the blue. So it's not perpetual motion because the fuel is run out over time. What is it? Seems like a fucking mess. Is it possible to create it's plausible. It's plausible compared with computer control tech. If paired with computer control tech, studied hard enough with the right emission scrubbing equipment to virtually eliminate any of the emissions that could still be left over, and still make higher miles per gallon. It's plausible. 200, 300, fuck, I doubt it. But who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? Who the hell knows? I'm Wes. I don't know. Let's put it this way. I also want to tell you about a friend of mine. His name was Shannon. I won't tell you his full name. He was known as GTI Bully. If you go there, what's left of GTI fucking Bully, he was gang stalked off of YouTube, and he had actual live ethanol vaporizer testing on a little bitty 500 watt generator. He was commenting to people on YouTube that with this testing, he was doing Everclear and shit. He was getting pretty clean exhaust. From what he could test without using emissions testing equipment, is pretty damn clean compared to anything else. Even liquid alcohol, according to different angles. And the other thing he said is he was getting at least 10 miles to the gallon in liquid gasoline. MPG equivalents on the generator. He's getting 10% better in fuel economy with his really rough ass vaporizers system. Rough as fuck. He had to restrict the air intake airflow because a lot of the air intake air was already pre-mixed with the ethanol vapor, and he finally got it to adjust right and run at a steady RPM. But that's another bit. I'll link that to you. What's left of that channel for you to see for yourself. He got gang stalked. I used to talk with him through one of my main private email. So that's my last bit of evidence, possible evidence for you. I'll see you around.